Prehistoric planetary apocalypses. Number 1, Younger Dryas impact/Lake Agassiz. Quite a bit of North America's exemplary megafauna, including mastodons, saber-toothed felines, Goliath sloths, and the sky is the limit from there, went terminated around 13,000 years prior. This elimination matched with a geographical period known as the Younger Dryas. The Younger Dryas happened close to the furthest limit of the last ice age when the Earth was warming and glacial masses were retreating. For reasons unknown, the warming halted and worldwide temps dove up to 24 degrees Celsius, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, inside a couple of brief mini-years. The chill went on for more than 1,000 years, slaughtering numerous species. This elimination has been depicted by geologists as geographically immediate, and, the most extraordinary appearance of environmental change in the topographical record. Although it was a secret for a long time, researchers today have a fascinating hypothesis concerning what achieved such conditions. As ice ages end and ice sheets retreat, exceptionally enormous meltwater lakes can frame inside the icy masses themselves. Lake Agassiz was one such inconceivably gigantic lake. It traversed an overall region of approximately 945,000 square kilometers, 365,000 mi2, which is around multiple times the land region of North Dakota. The ice dam containing this lake imploded, delivering almost 16,000 square kilometers, 6,000 mi2, of cool, new meltwater into the warm sea flows and dropping the Earth's temperature. A current way of thinking is that a space rock may have caused this sensational cool front. Harvard researcher Mikhail Pataev and his partners express that this effect is obvious from high measures of platinum and iridium, infinite finger impression proof of an iron shooting star sway, that were found in a Greenland ice center example from this piece of the Holocene epoch. Different researchers have found nanodiamonds and effect-delivered carbon particles from this equivalent residue layer, supporting the speculation. Number 2, Gamma ray burst mass extinction. As it shows up from Earth, the universe is by all accounts the quiet, evening time picture of quietness. Be that as it may, it can likewise be the phase of extraordinary viciousness. Gamma beam blasts, GRBs, happen at the cosmic explosion passings of monstrous stars and are the most impressive blasts known to man. The furthest point of their savagery is difficult for the human brain to appreciate. They can last from milliseconds to minutes and, in that time span, transmit as much energy as the Sun puts out in 10 billion years. College of Kansas and NASA researchers have utilized air demonstrating to conjecture that simply such a blast may have caused the mass eradication that happened during the Ordovician period. This was more than 200 million years before the main dinosaurs strolled the Earth and some time before there was any creature or huge vegetation ashore. The researchers confirmed that even a 10-second burst from 6,000 light-years away would obliterate a large portion of the Earth's ozone and uncover all living things to deadly bright radiation from the Sun. Little life frames that structure the base of the natural pecking order, like microscopic fish, would be seriously drained. Synthetic changes in the air would have prompted planetary cooling, disturbing environments all over the place. Brian Thomas, at that point a PhD applicant at the University of Kansas, said that however much 60% of the marine spineless creatures may have been cleared out, close surface animals would have been promptly influenced by the absence of food and openness to the sun's bright beams, while the deep water animals might have waited for more. Ultimately, the natural pecking order interruption would have made up for lost time to them also. A fascinating BBC narrative was done regarding the matter, and you can see it here. Number 3, Lunar Cataclysm. Envision the Earth being hit with numerous huge space rocks, picture Texas-sized stones / over a stretch of a long time. This happened right off the bat in Earth's set of experiences. Around 3.9 billion years ago, Earth would have been a hopeless spot to be alive, says Oregon State University specialist Robert Duncan. Known as the Late Heavy Bombardment, this occasion portrays the arrangement of dangerous effects endured by Earth from the get-go in its set of experiences, likely because of the unsettling influence of the space rock belt among Earth and Mars. Proof on Earth for these effects has for quite some time been eradicated because of disintegration and plate structural activity, so it wasn't until the Moon arrivals that recovered moon rocks recounted the story. Compound fingerprinting and radiometric dating procedures utilized on moon rocks have uncovered that both the Earth and Moon supported a brilliant flood around the time that life is thought to have initially started creating on our planet. Researchers accept the siege went on for around 100 million years. Here are some ebb and flow speculations regarding the source of the space rock belt unsettling influence. The presence of around 3.9 billion years ago, Earth would have been a hopeless spot to be alive, that framed inside the zone of more modest planets yet was gobbled up by the Sun, the coordinated reverberation of Jupiter's and Saturn's circles, the most famous hypothesis / and a potential impact of the anonymous 10th and 11th planets in the external close planetary system. If you watch, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Number 4, Black Sea Deluge, Noah's Flood. No less a legend than Dr. Robert Ballard, pioneer of the disaster area of the Titanic, has proposed the hypothesis that would clarify the root of the notable flood legends of antiquated legend. A 1999 marine endeavor drove by Ballard found indications of human occupation in man-made constructions at the lower part of the Black Sea. The disclosure of an old shoreline, just as the remaining parts of freshwater mollusks, demonstrated that there was previously a freshwater lake under what is presently the pungent Black Sea. This was proof of a huge flood. Radiocarbon dating underpins a date for the downpour of around 7,000 years prior. Rising ocean levels were brought about by liquefying icy masses during the warming period toward the finish of one of the numerous previous ice ages. These waters compromised the region around the Bosporus Strait, which may have been a land connect at one time. It is presently a land bottleneck in Asia Minor that opens up into the Black Sea. Sooner or later, the land connect was penetrated. The Mediterranean Sea poured in at about 42 cubic kilometers, 10 mi3, consistently, maybe with a power of 200 Niagara Falls, as indicated by Columbia University marine geologists Bill Ryan and Walter Pittman. It would have left the panicked survivors to give over legends of the flood through oral practices of numerous ages. It might have motivated the flood stories of Noah, Gilgamesh, and different people groups of the antiquated world. Number 5, Theia Impact. The mother of all infinite effects happened when a Mars-sized planet, known as Theia / struck Earth during the wide-open billiards round of impacting planetary bodies from the get-go throughout the entire existence of the nearby planetary group. The Earth was crushed into a scarcely unblemished turning spheroid of liquid stone. This disaster created the tenable Earth that we know today and gave us our Moon. Liquid garbage that spun off following the vicious crash was kept in gravitational circle by the rear end of Earth that remained. The trash bit by bit combine into the recognizable circle that shows up in our night sky. Credit is again because of the Apollo missions and the ensuing investigation of moon rocks. It was discovered that the Earth and the moon rocks were uncannily comparable in synthesis. This drove researchers to find that the Earth and Moon were at one time a similar item, which was savagely isolated by a monstrous protoplanetary crash right off the bat in Earth's set of experiences. Daniel Hurwitz, an isotope geochemist at the University of Göttingen in Germany, discovered that the closeness in oxygen isotopes between moon shakes and Earth shakes further fortifies the effect speculation. This gathering of shooting stars has an extremely comparable isotopic piece to the Earth, he said. Some researchers say that Theia was a greater amount of an E-type space rock as opposed to an unmistakable planet as we would picture it.